Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown once again. So today we are going to discuss about Mumbai Indians. As planned, as scheduled, we are going to do two today. We are going to do Mumbai Indians first and then come into SRH. So today, first of all, we are doing MI spot analysis and updates. We are going to discuss about the playing 11. We are going to discuss about the pitch conditions. We are going to discuss about the latest updates on Mumbai Indians and many more. So we have alongside Ritam from Sportbit joining us, who's a Mumbai Indians fan. And then we have Falak, who's a good friend of mine and who's joined my channel before also recently with the IPL preview. So, welcome both of you. My fans, obviously, yeah, not a good last season for Mumbai Indians, but let's see what happens this season around for Mumbai Indians. All right, first of all, coming to Falak. Obviously, a bowling attack when we were speaking about Mumbai Indians in the auctions wise, it was really good, especially getting Jai Richardson, Berendorf also was traded in, and you had Archer and Bumrah as well. You thought all these four will be playing together, but unfortunately, two are missing out. Obviously, Jai Richardson and Jasprit Bumrah. How big of a loss is Jasprit Bumrah to this Mumbai Indians team? And if there's any replacements, who do you think could potentially match up with Jasprit Bumrah? How do you think? Because the bowling attack is the strength of Mumbai Indians. That is where they possibly can go to the playoffs at times. So, your thoughts about that?
See, uh, frankly speaking, there is no player in the whole world who can replace Jasprit Bumrah in the T20 format. So, like, that is not even a possibility. The best thing which I think we can go through the direction is Jason Behrendorff is a fast bowler who is primarily used as a new ball bowler. So, if we can get a Sandeep Sharma in for Bumrah, then we can use him as a new ball bowler and along with Archer, and then get in a overseas spinner so that we will have that quality in our spin attack as well alongside the Indian bowlers, and we
Hmm.
can use the impact player rule more in a better way for
Yes.
strengthening our batting is what I feel, because we already have a power packed batting order. I just feel that it didn't click very nicely in the last season, though I don't have a top two expectation this season because of two major miss in the form of Bumrah and Jai Richardson. But
Hmm.
I'm still hoping that we will end up mid-table, something between 4 to 6.
Yes.
Hopefully, we qualify for the playoffs.
Right. Coming to Rhythm, obviously we are hearing rumors that Sandeep Sharma could replace Bumrah, and we know the capabilities of Sandeep Sharma. Obviously, he's got 100 plus wickets in the IPL. He has a sort of similar average to Bumrah. Do you think he's the best replacement, Rhythm? If because we don't have much fast bowling options, they are in the unsold list. So, do you think Sandeep Sharma is the right choice for Mumbai Indians?
As Falak said, there is actually no replacement available in the one for Jasprit Bumrah. So basically, Sandeep Sharma, as we know, his experience in during the Hyderabad times, he has helped Hyderabad a lot of times with the ball by starting off and even after death overs. So I feel Sandeep Sharma can bring a bit of touch of Bumrah here in the Mumbai Indians, and he can play. He can act alongside Jofra Archer as a good duo. When he can also start a power play, he can also act at the death overs. So I feel Sandeep Sharma can be a good choice for Bumrah's replacement.
Hmm, very true. And also, we have to talk. Yeah, what else? We have to talk about Cameron Green because that was an addition that Mumbai Indians had for 17 crores. Coming back to you, Falak, how do you see the MI auction going? Because I think they had, I think, around 18 to 19 crores this time. They spent 16 to 17 crores on Cameron Green. They were bidding up. There was a bidding war between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians for Cameron Green, and they ultimately got Cameron Green for 17. And then they had to spend wisely, obviously, on the other picks that they went. So, how do you think? How did the auctions go for Mumbai Indians? Do you think? How do you rate it out of 10? Any thoughts about Cameron Green's addition to this Mumbai Indians team? Also,
See, I would agree that the auction might have not gone as the way they had planned in the perfect manner which we are used to seeing MI go about in the auctions. So they had a plan to get Sam Curran in. First, they were not able to get him, so they went all in for Cameron Green. I believe that even if we would have gotten him for 1 or 1.5 crores cheaper, then it would have been very good for us because that would have allowed us some flexibility in the budget to get the other players in as well. because I believe that we missed out a lot in buying in Adam Zampa, which I feel would have been a really good addition for us in the team, who we could have used on the pitches like Chepok and the other pitches where the balls tends to spin a lot. He could have
Hmm.
been a value addition for us. Another
Yes.
thing is that what I believe is Green has huge potential. So he has the potential of becoming better than Hardik Pandya. And we have seen Hardik Pandya, like we have groomed him and had his best years till now. Now, though, even though I feel that it was a sad ending, but still I believe that Green can fill up that gap. And many people were saying that Tim David was a replacement for Hardik Pandya after last season. I still believe Tim David was never replacement for Hardik Pandya. Tim David is the replacement for Polar, and Cameron Green is a replacement for Hardik Pandya. And his bowling will be really suitable to the Wankhede pitch, because the Wankhede pitches are tend to be pacey and bouncy, and the kind of bounce he can generate with his tall height could be very useful for us in our bowling attack.
Hmm. Very true. Coming to Ritam, your thoughts overall? How do you rate it out of 10? First of all, Falak, the MI auctions this time around.
I believe it was an average auction, so like I would give it at best 6.5 to 7.
Very true. All right. Coming to Ritam, your thoughts on how MI approached, I mean, Cameron Green. There was Ben Stokes, there's Sam Curran in the auctions. MI specifically went for Cameron Green and they did get him. But otherwise, they couldn't get, I mean, an overseas spinner. The spin options was less this time since they went 17.5 crores for Cameron Green. Then they got Jason Berendorf from RCB in a trade, and the others they use as uncapped Indian players. They bought for 20 lakhs or 50 lakhs. So, your thoughts overall of Mumbai Indians options this time, going fully on Cameron Green only, not getting a spinner or even, as Falak said, overseas spinner this time around?
Honestly, even before the auctions, I literally predicted about MI would go for either of Shakib or of Zampa. Basically, I wanted Shakib because he would have been a better choice as he would also have the batting advantage as well. But right now, as you see at the auction now, going all upon Cameron Green, I guess MI are full ready to further invest on him as the next big thing, just like what Pollard was to Mumbai 2000, from when he came during 2010. And now again, Cameron Green this time. And also talking about the other facts, yes, the spinner. MI are now without any, what I will say, any established spinner right now. For any other teams right now, if you see, they are established spinners. Even we had Rahul Chahar previously. Rahul Chahar was used to be so much handy during the middle overs. Even Kunal Pandey used to be so much economical when he was with the Mumbai Indians. But right now, we have maximum got with Piyush Chawla, who is experienced. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I
Yeah.
forgot to add that point that even though we missed out on an overseas spinner, they did try to cover it up in the end by getting Piyush Chawla, who I feel will be used in the impact player rule. Uh, so we all know he's not fit enough to be there on the field for 20 overs, but we can
Hmm.
use him because he is still one of the most experienced and high wicket taking. He's at a higher rank in the wicket taking list in
Yeah.
all time IPL greats. So I believe we
Yes.
can use him as an impact player and use his smarts and bowling, and maybe that can help our spin department a bit.
Hmm. All right,
Yeah.
Ritam, you can continue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I was also going to say about Piyush Chawla, that yes, he is a good guy. He's an experienced man. We know him. He has played so much good innings. He has, as you have said, that he has taken the highest, one of the highest wicket takers in the IPL. So basically, he can be utilized. But also, as you can see, the other spin department of the Mumbai Indians, Ritik Shangi, Kumar Kartika. Kumar Kartika, we know he had a good season, domestic season. So I have taken him in the playing 11, which we will be seeing later on. But otherwise, that spin department looks kind of weak for Mumbai, and especially it will hamper the Mumbai Indians during the middle overs where the spinners literally come into play. And if we talk about other things, the Behendrov, I will say a goodbye, good good trade from the RCB, and basically the what else? Jai Richardson. Jai Richardson, though. I want Ollie Stone as a replacement for Jai Richardson right now. Ollie Stone had a good campaign at South Africa 20 League. So I feel Ollie Stone could be a good replacement for Jai Richardson in the Mumbai Indians team. at the moment. Overall, I will rate the auctions 6 as because for taking green and also not for not taking the proper spinner.
Hmm. Coming back to you, Ritam, can we depend on Cameron Green's bowling this time? Do you think he'll bowl 4 overs this time, or do we depend on Cameron Green to bowl 1 or 2 overs? Because we know he can tend to get injury right now. I think he did bowl in the second ODI against India. Also, we saw some of his bowling. Can we depend on Cameron Green to bowl 4 overs and get wickets? Because in 2020 cricket, we haven't seen much potential from Cameron Green, especially with his bowling. We know in Test cricket he is really good when it comes with his bowling, but 2020 cricket we haven't seen much of Cameron Green's bowling. So your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I will say Cameron Crane is going might get maximum 2 to 3 overs. I don't see him getting the 4 overs here. Because what I will say, Cameron Green is a bowler, is a good bowler, but after all, if you see in the especially in the conditions where he's literally gone for so much runs, I feel that the team isn't going to risk him with the 4 overs, and especially even if he doesn't go maximum, he's going to be get 3 overs by the Mumbai Indians. I guess other bowlers, Sandeep Sharma, Jofra Archer, they will get a full overs, and the spinners might get a full overs. But I feel Cameron Green is going to get 2 to 3 overs max in best
Hmm.
cases.
Palak, any thoughts to add about that, about Cameron Green? Do you agree with Rhythm? Or
I I believe that now that the IPL is back to the home and away format, so it will
Hmm.
also depend on where we are playing. So, for example, on a Chapok pitch, we will not be bowling. I don't think he will be bowling in 2 or 3 overs on a Chapok pitch.
yeah,
But
agree.
at the
Even
Wankhede,
in Delhi,
if
even
he
at Delhi also. Yeah.
yeah, like those spin friendly pitches. So, but
Yes.
at the Wankhede or the Eden Gardens or the other pitches, I believe that he will get those 3 overs, and if he is on a good, like it looks like he's in a good rhythm or is going through a good spell, then he
Hmm.
might complete his quota of overs as well.
Hmm. Good. All right, so we'll speak about the Mumbai Indians squad right now. So we'll show it over here. I'll be speaking. So we have Rohit Sharma as captain. Jasprit Bumrah is in doubt. Obviously, is out. So there'll be a replacement coming in. Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Deval Brevis, Tilak Verma, Jofra Archer, Tim David, Mohammad Arshad Khan, Ramandeep Singh, Ritik Shokin, Arjun Tendulkar, Kristen Stubbs, Kumar Karthika, Jason Behrendorff, Akash Madhaval, Cameron Green, Jai Richardson is out, so there'll be a replacement. Piyush Chawla, Duan Jansen, Vishnu Vinod, Shams Mulani, Nehal Badara, and Raghav Goyal. All right. So we'll talk about the 4 overseas players right now. So coming back to Falak, talking about the 4 overseas players. Obviously, I think Tim David right now is fixed, but we have thoughts, especially Deval Brevis. Last season, he did really well when he was given the opportunity, batted at number three. Whenever he took the opportunity, he obviously scored runs for Mumbai Indians. Do we see the similar role? Do you think Deval Brevis will get at least 5 to 6 matches like what we saw last season? He with the ball also he contributed a bit also. So your thoughts, because this guy Deval Brevis is a future player. He's I think the future star. I mean, from the under 19 World Cup, he was the best player, no doubt. So and MI bought him also. So your thoughts about Deval Brevis right now?
I have to regretfully say that he will not make it into my playing 11, just because the price at which we have got Green and the fact that Tim David is, like, he is having a very good year in the other leagues as well. So I believe that Green and Tim David will play for sure, and believe Archer is going to be there because we do need him. So that puts a fix on our three overseas spots. Now, seeing the fact that Bumrah is out, if Bumrah would have been there, maybe we could have risked it and could have used up a overseas batter and then use the impact player rule accordingly. But
Yeah.
now with Bumrah being out, we can't risk it, because if we play an overseas batter, then it makes our bowling department very weak, because we don't have enough quality fast bowlers, Indian fast bowlers, and
Yeah.
plus the spinning department is also not up to the mark. So if we don't play an overseas pacer or a spinner to cover up for those issues, then we will
Yeah.
have a lot of issues going on in our bowling department.
Mm, very true. Coming to Rhythm, obviously we know Tilak Verma had a very good season last time. He scored 300 plus runs last time. He was contributing a lot in his debut season at Mumbai Indians. can we expect a similar role from Tilak Verma, seeing his domestic performance? This is not in Mumbai only. I mean, they played at the Mankade now. They're going to away matches. It's not going to be easy, obviously, for that middle order. We know Surya Kumar Yadav's capabilities definitely is going to have a good season. But thoughts about Tilak Verma? Do you think he will perform this season too? In case if he doesn't, could he be dropped? Will there be any players to replace Tilak Verma? So, any thoughts on that?
Honestly, I will say even if you look at the domestic, as you were saying, his domestic records have been fantastic for the Hyderabad team he was playing. And honestly, right now, even if he fails right now, I guess MI is going to give a full backup to him. After all, in the previous season, you see, basically the top order literally struggled. I will say not a top order, sorry. Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan. Ishan Kishan, even though he was the highest run scorer, I guess, but still, both of them struggle at most of the matches. And Tilak Verma was the man who literally handled the who had handled the middle order, and also during batted well for Mumbai Indians, controlling the innings, anchoring the innings, and finally hitting the right chords out there. I feel that even if Tilak Verma fails, Mumbai Indians should give Tilak Verma the backup that is needed. But I think Tilak Verma is going to have a fantastic season besides Surya Kumar Yadav this season.
Hmm. Any points to add, Falak, over there?
See, I don't see any reason why Tilak Verma should be failing, considering for me he will be batting between Surya Kumar Yadav and Tim David and Cameron Green and all, who are super aggressive players. Like they play at a strike rate of more than a 150 strike rate. So he will also, even if he comes in, he will end because the kind of players that MI have, even
Yeah.
if you see a Rohit Sharma or a Surya Kumar Yadav or a Ishan Kishan or a Tim David or Cameron, all play at a very high strike rate. They are very aggressive and destructive players. So that will allow Tilak Verma, being the younger player in the group, to take his time and soak in the pressure and then accelerate. Even though, from what I have seen in the last season, I believe he is not one of those guys who will be looking to wait. Even he wants to show that he is also something in that uh,
Yeah.
star-studded batting lineup, which he
Yes.
did last season as well. Last season, though, I believe that Surya Kumar Yadav was our best batsman in the whole season.
Hmm.
But the only problem was he got injured, and that affected the whole balance, and it changed. It affected the team performance as well.
Yes, very true. Coming to Falak once again, obviously Rohit Sharma. We know a lot of people have been criticizing a bit of Rohit Sharma's batting. I know the captaincy has been brilliant from Rohit Sharma, but we haven't seen much of his potential. Perhaps in the last 3 to 4 years, he struggles to get a start, doesn't get the 50s, only has
Yeah.
scored one century in the IPL, I think, ever. So, your thoughts this season, Rohit Sharma coming into, because we have Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan obviously going to open. That is very crucial for MI because they can't always rely on the middle order. This is what happened last season, that Rohit Sharma especially was failing a bit, and then they had to depend on the middle order a lot. So what do you think this time around, Falak? How do you see Rohit Sharma adapting, because this home and away situation also? So how do you see that happening?
I believe this season is going to be a big break, like a big break or make it season for Rohit Sharma as well, because no doubt he's a legend of the game. But the way the Indian team has also been going about in recent times, if he and Virat Kohli both, I'm including him in this, if they do not have a spectacular season, there are chances that we may not see them in next year's World Cup, the T20 World Cup.
Hmm.
So we do, because uh, for, we have seen even before the T20 World Cup they do not play one dayers. If there is a one day World Cup coming, they do not play the T20Is, and there
Yes.
has been a lot of confusion and issues with the Indian team in the last 1 year. So this could be, so there will be a added pressure on him as a batsman, which
Yes.
he generally doesn't take in, because I believe he has always been a team player. So even after knowing that the opening position was the best for him, he used to bat at 3 or 4, depending upon what the team required. And you just don't see the contribution through, not not only with the amount of runs he scores, but the pace he scores and the impactful innings he gets in.
Yeah.
So yes, last year was a huge disappointment, but I believe the year before that he was batting pretty well.
Yes.
So this season, I'm hoping for at least a 500-run season for Rohit Sharma.
Hmm.
Uh,
Ritam,
uh,
your thoughts as well. Yeah. Yes.
So right now, as we know that even Rohit Sharma has not been in its decent form as an opener in the last 3 to 4 years. But so don't you think? I mean, don't you think that we can bring Cameron Green in the opening slot? As we know, Green has previously also opened for the teams, and Rohit Sharma in the middle order back again. So we can get Green and Kishan opening, and we get Rohit Sharma at number 3 or 4. Would it be a good
I,
choice?
I am totally against that, but that's my personal opinion. Because I believe if you want to put someone down in the middle order, it's better to put Ishan Kishan down because he has had good innings for MI at number 4 as well, and he
Yeah.
has performed there as well. But I think we should not tinker with the combination and continue with Rohit and Kishan because see, the only reason I believe that if there is someone from the opening duo going down, it will be Kishan because you have to also consider in another factor is that we don't have any other notable keeper in the squad as well. So Kishan is going to be keeping for the whole 20 overs, and if he opens, then if he is having a long innings or whatever, then players do tend to get tired.
Hmm.
So if you have to push someone down, I would prefer it to be Ishan Kishan because that would
Yes.
also allow Rohit Sharma another flexibility that Green becomes the Virendra Sehwag type role that he goes on from ball one, and it allows Rohit Sharma to take some time, maybe get his eye in the first 3 overs and then go bam bam.
Don't you see him batting at number three even? Like he can play that anchor role as we see. I know Green and Ishan Kishan, they can be very powerful, especially in the power play. I mean, know the capabilities of Cameron Green as well. But don't you see Rohit Sharma coming one down at least, and then Surya Kumar Yadav coming two down? I mean, both of them also can adjust to their situation this time. Yeah, Falak, your thoughts? Yeah.
Pawan, you just answer one question for me. At leave aside ODI format, at this stage and the form Surya Kumar Yadav is in, don't you want him to play as many balls as he can? Why push him down to number 4? That
True.
does not make sense.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the pitch conditions. Obviously, we know at the Wankhede, generally it's a very high scoring ground over there. Possibly 200 plus we can expect. Very good for the pacers as well. Little bit assistance for the spinners compared to others. But coming to Rhythm, how do you see the pitch conditions at the Wankhede? I mean, MI basically played there. Then I mean, most of the matches at Wankhede they didn't have an issue compared to the other teams. Now the other teams they'll have obviously have to play the home and away format. I think MI obviously had to play away, but they played many home games. Especially they played in DY Patel. They played in conditions in Mumbai. So what do you see? Still MI became last, even though they had some issues, obviously, which is why they became last. They played at their home. I think other teams adapted better than MI, and the squad wise, MI weren't that great. But your thoughts this season since MI have played at home last season. Now they know the conditions, but other teams also do know now since they played last season. Certain players also might be knowing. So your thoughts regarding that because MI was the only team who actually played at the Wankhede and other conditions in Mumbai.
Yes, the other teams would have an advantage. They would have an advantage of knowing the pitch as they have played in the last season. But I feel that this time I expect a high scoring run pitches from the one Kere. And yes, also an assistance for the pace bowling. I hope that the pitch would help Jofra and also the Indian replacement who is going to replace Jasprit Bumrah out here.
Yeah,
And also I feel that Rohit Sky they would create a blast over at the one K. Rohit Sky, Kishan, Green, and Tim David especially, and even
yeah.
others. Even though they would have a advantage over it, but they also need to adapt it because there's already been a gap of already 1 year between this and this, between the last IPL and right now this IPL. So we need to see upon the team's conditions as well.
Hmm. Falak, anything to add on for the pitch conditions? How do you see it playing for Mumbai since they played at the Wankhede a few matches last time? Also, I don't think it will be much of an issue for Mumbai because they are the only team who played at home and in the conditions in Mumbai. So I don't think that will be much of a big issue for Mumbai Indians. But since they finished last, anything that Mumbai can do this time around, especially they played at home conditions, what can they can do better at the Wankhede? Your thoughts on that?
I believe past records won't matter, but the kind of squad or the playing 11 I am assuming MI will go with, I believe it is suited for the Wankhede pitch and the stadium. So MI will, if have good performances on their home ground. What I am worried about is when we go away. When we are going away, or even if playoffs, I don't believe the playoffs will be there in Mumbai. So
Okay.
it is going to those factors when it comes into play. It's going to be difficult for MI, but for their home ground, they have a pretty solid playing 11 to perform really well there.
Hmm, very true. Okay. Coming to Ritam, Jofra Archer obviously is coming back after 2 years. But can we rely on Jofra Archer's fitness right now, and is he capable of playing all 14 matches? So Mumbai Indians will have to rotate Jofra Archer in between in case something happens, because we saw this with MI Cape Town also. They rested
Yeah, yeah.
Jofra Archer in certain matches. They didn't rely much on his fitness to play all matches. Do you think this time Mumbai Indians also will have to do the same in case MI reaches the playoffs? Would you take that risk and play Jofra Archer all 14 matches? Your thoughts?
Currently, even I am also not expecting the playoff spots yet. But yeah, Jofra Archer playing 14 matches is literally, I will say, very difficult. I will say it's very difficult. Considering the bowling actions and considering the line and length that he literally uses. And basically, even if you see South Africa 20 League especially, he literally played the first two matches and then he didn't play any matches, and later on he came on to play a match. So basically, Jofra Archer, I guess, should play at least 10 to 12 matches. And after that, if there is any kind of issue or any kind of problem, I guess Mumbai Indians can get replaced. Where even England cricket board would also even would try to take Jofra from us, considering his fitness and all. And also, there's a World Cup literally at October or November, I guess. So basically, even ECB also want Jofra to get injured. Even MI won't want. So I feel that Jofra can play at least 8 to 10 games.
Hmm. What about you, Falak? I mean, because now Jumrah is out, they didn't expect obviously Archer to take the responsibility right now. Now he's obviously taken the responsibility. Do you think he can handle it and play most of the matches? We know how injury prone Archer has been in the past 3 years. He's been injured about twice or thrice, not been able to play so many matches. So your thoughts, it's a huge risk because Jofra Archer is, I mean, recently only back to the playing 11 for England. Only he recently played against Bangladesh, that too also, and basically he didn't have a good TO as well. So can we see Jofra Archer playing a lot of matches, or do you think they'll have to rotate each time and see how it goes?
See, it also depends on how the results are going. So if MI are at a good position, then they can afford to rest him for a match or two. Otherwise, like if they have a season like the last one, which I'm hoping they don't have, then you are already out of the tournament. So it does not make sense to keep risking his injury.
Hmm.
So those could be the only two phases in which he could get adequate rest. Otherwise, I am assuming that the MI think tank and we as fans are wanting and expecting Archer to play at least 12 to 13 matches
Hmm.
so as to give us notable results.
Hmm. All right. So let's talk about the schedule right now of Mumbai Indians. Obviously, they have Royal Challengers Bangalore. They have RCB in their first match, I think, at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. We'll talk a bit about the schedule. So we will show the schedule right now for Mumbai Indians. It should be appearing right now over here. Just give me a second. Yeah, so they have Royal Challengers Bangalore, I think, at Bangalore. Then they have CSK, Delhi, Kolkata, SRH, Punjab. They don't have a easy run starting up. Even they're facing like probable playoffs teams. Ritam, seeing at this schedule right now, how confident are you, especially them facing? I think they have only two home matches and three away in their first five. Then they have Punjab, Gujarat. I think they play RCB twice. They play, I think, Gujarat twice. They play SRH twice. I think they play Punjab twice, and I think they face one other team also twice. So CSK twice. So yeah, that's especially the CSK, MI CSK, especially they're facing twice. We know CSK have got strengthened, especially of Ben Stokes addition. So it's not going to be easy
Sorry.
facing these five teams, especially RCB and CSK twice. Not going to be easy for Mumbai Indians this time.
Yeah, honestly, this if you look at the schedule right now, Emma is going to have a tough time against, especially Chennai. I will say, Chennai is literally, I will say, the best team on paper. But let's see, we can't say anything from right now onwards because we have seen previously also that in SA20 is the biggest example you have seen that MI kept down the best team on paper has got the last position, and similarly RCB being the best team on WPL has
Hmm.
got is right now at last. So
Yes.
even if Chennai are good on paper, we need to see how they come on the field. But even if we talk about Mumbai Indians facing up against the, I guess we will be will come as an underdog against the RCB and Chennai especially against Chennai. Chennai is literally one of the best teams out there, and only I guess MI can be dominant. I expect MI wins against Delhi Capitals or Kolkata Knight Riders because if you look at Kolkata team is literally broken down. As you can, there's no proper leader right now available. Even if proper leader is there, then your players won't perform. So they have a chance, and also even Russell, the over dependence of Russell. So
Hmm.
I feel MI is having some advantages over KKR here. And also talking about other teams, I guess MI can have victories over Delhi, SRH at this case, but I guess it's going to be difficult against RCB and Chennai Super Kings.
Hmm.
For me, they are the biggest threats to MI's brand right now.
Hmm. Falak, your thoughts, especially they're facing RCB in the first match at Bengaluru, and then CSK twice, RCB twice, I think Punjab twice, I think SRH also. So, your thoughts facing these teams twice, not going to be an easy run at all for Mumbai Indians this time around.
See, RCB are also going to have a huge loss considering they will not have Saranga for the first game
Yeah.
because he is not going to be available.
Yes.
Today, in the second ODI toss, I saw Maxwell was out with a spasm,
Hmm.
and the seeing that he has just recently come out of injury,
Hmm.
I don't know what his status will be.
Yeah.
So they are also going to be missing out on some big names. I believe
Yes.
even Hazelwood is injured right now, so we
Hmm.
don't know his status on when will he be coming back.
True.
Faf has not had a lot of cricket recently,
Yes.
so that is another factor. So considering all these factors, at least for the first match in the Chinnaswamy, we have all our players available, like
Yeah.
those who are there in the squad.
Agree.
So we have an advantage at least for the first match, is what I believe. And
Yes.
Delhi, for them, punt is going to be a huge loss
Hmm.
because losing your captain, your keeper, because
Hmm.
you do not have a proper backup keeper. From what I have heard, they are planning to use Sarfaraz as a keeper.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they have lost a great captain, a good keeper, and an absolutely stunning, a very good Indian middle order finishing left-handed batsman.
Yeah, that's
Which
I
which
think most likely. I think Aksha Patel will have to play that role this time for Delhi. That's what me and Preetham was speaking around about also because we don't have that proper left hand batter as you're saying. Panti is a big loss, obviously, but I think it's time for Aksha Patel also to step up. Yeah, but you can continue. Yes.
plus they have not addressed their lower middle order problems. I believe you will cover it all in your DC previews. I don't need to
Yes.
get into that. But
Yes.
so basically, the point is that even though each teams is very good,
Hmm.
so we see if we are going to start looking at the faults of each teams,
Hmm.
then I don't believe any team is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
For
Agree.
me, I disagree with Ritam. I believe that RR has the best 11 for me. I'm not talking about the whole squad.
All right.
If you see the best 11, I believe RR has the best 11. They
All right.
covered their number 7 problem by getting Holder in.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
for me, that is how it is. Otherwise, am I another thing about the scheduling? I see it in another. I believe it's a very good schedule for us because we have, I think so, 5 or 6 home games in our last 7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, yeah, we
Yeah.
have
I
we
think
have
it's
a
yeah.
lot of home games.
Yeah.
So we at the halfway stage we will know where we stand, and having such a huge Mumbai support in the Wankhede Stadium makes a huge difference.
Hmm.
So
Very true.
having
Yes.
those 5 games, 5 home games in the last 7, even if we are maybe at a lower point, we can make that comeback because of that reason. So that could prove out to be really good for us because historically we have been slow starters. So
Yes.
this is an advantage for us, is what I feel.
Hmm. True. Coming to Ritam, so let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses. I think we touched a bit, but any more additions, Ritam, regarding about the strengths and weaknesses, seeing how this MI squad is, if they're not going to finish last, what do you think the strengths will be for Mumbai? And certain weaknesses that, I mean, could potentially affect them to go to not to go to the playoffs.
As we have discussed before, I am also making the special points on this. The strength of Mumbai Indians, especially I will say the explosive batters. As we know, a very strong middle order. I will say has one of the best middle orders in the whole tournament.
Yes.
Tilak,
Hmm.
David, Green, Surya, and also the return of Jofra Archer, obviously.
Yes.
And if I talk about the weakness, so especially I will say the weak spin department, especially,
Hmm.
and also Bumrah's absent, absolute dismay right now,
Hmm.
and also lack of experienced Indian pacer. See, I'm not considering Sandeep Sharma right now.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at things, Arshad Khan, yes, we know he has some good domestic records. He might have,
Hmm.
but right now we need to see how he's performing at the big stage.
Yeah.
Also, Arjun Tendulkar is also up there at the bench, so let's see upon that. So the MI is actually lacking a proper Indian pacer.
Good point over there. That's what I'm coming to Falak. Why did they try to release Jaidev Unadkat when he had a good domestic season? They went and released him, and I think he went to Lucknow, I think, for 20 lakhs. Don't you think that was like a risk? I mean, MI they could have kept him basically for another season. Regarding seeing how Bumrah's fitness is, also they could have kept Unadkat for another season. No, perhaps could have even looked for an Indian pace in that they had could have bought Shivam Mavi. That's why I think the 17.5 crores for Green, I think it was all for investment and hope he does well. But they couldn't cover the main criterias in this Mugshot.
See, I think about the Unatkat reason, first of all. I feel we released him first and then he had some pretty good performances after the release. Another thing, Unatkat, I believe, is not the perfect match for the Wankhede Stadium. His strength, Unatkat's strength is the cutters. He has a very good slower ball and he's a good new ball bowler, which I believe was more suitable at pitches like maybe a Chennai or the team he went to, Lucknow. Those pitches, or a Hyderabad, those pitches would actually help him. So I believe
Yeah,
he got the right fit. That's another thing. But we could not afford Shivam Mavi. As you said, we already went for Green. And I already had a feeling that we will be going for some or the other all rounder or some big splash. I had a feeling we will be buying someone for more than 10 crores in that auction, but I was not expecting us to go till that price for those players. Like if you remember, even the we also had placed the 18 crore bid for Sam Curran as well.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So I was not expecting us to go for those players at till those prices. It's a different thing altogether. Another thing, talking about the strengths and weaknesses, I believe Ritam covered majority of it,
yeah.
but we could use this impact player rule very wisely, which could
Hmm.
help us a lot because we do have a pretty good batting lineup. And another advantage is that the the likes of Arjun Tendulkar or Arshad Khan. So I see it in two ways. One, they maybe can, being not having so much experience or being playing at those stages of the game, they
Yeah.
could easily get pressurized. But in a way, we have also seen players who do really well in their first season because players don't know about those players.
Hmm.
So you don't know how Arshad Khan bowls. For example,
Yes.
MI had Mohsin Khan for 3 4 seasons. Just because he was
Yes.
injury prone, we had released him. And
Hmm.
it
Big
was
loss.
very evidently being seen. Why we were backing him could be very easily seen how he performed for NSG last year.
Hmm. Very true. I think Ramandeep Singh also was bowling Rhythm last year. It was not that convincing. Obviously, his batting performance and all. What sort of role can we see from Ramandeep Singh? Do you see him in the playing 11 straight away, or do you see him playing as a impact player role? Because it was slightly disappointing seeing how Ramandeep Singh contributed a bit last season, especially with his bowling. I think costed a bit, and Rohit Sharma depended on him a lot, but he couldn't deliver as expected.
Honestly, I will say there's very less chance. I will say no chance of Ramandeep Singh in the playing 11 currently. Yes, impact player role. Yes, he can be there as a. He can be there. As a as he can come at the middle order, but I don't think that he's going to be in the playing 11 after all.
Hmm.
Because the playing 11 is already stacked with batters, and especially then you got a spinner in the form of either Kartikeya or even Chawla, and then the pacers come along. So I don't feel that Ramandeep is going to get any kind of spot in the whole lineup.
All right. So we'll talk about the playing 11s of each before we conclude. So Falak's playing 11, as we see Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma opening. We have Surya Kumar at number 3. Cameron Green comes at number 4 for him. Tilak Verma at 5. Tim David at 6. Archer comes and bats at 7. Kartika at 8. Arshad Khan, O. Arjun Tendulkar at 9. Ritik Shokin and Berendoff at 11. His impact players are Piyush Chawla, one of Arjun Tendulkar, Arshad Khan, Ramandeep Singh, and Shams Mulani. Falak, coming to you, you're playing 11. You trusted two spinners with Kartikeya and Shokin. I think MI played, I think, only one spinner also sometimes at the Wankhede this season. So,
Yeah.
your thoughts basically, I mean, taking both Shokin and I mean, you have a bowler like Piyush Chawla, but as you said, I think you want him as impact player
Hmm.
coming in. But don't you think for Shokin, like experienced bowler like Chawla can coming into the playing 11?
See, Ritik Shokeen, what I am looking at him is, why I am looking at him is, another reason is I saw a lot of batting potential in him as well when
Hmm.
he was playing in those matches for Mumbai last year.
Yeah.
So I see him as a player who can be used as someone who is a band-aid. So
Hmm.
if we lose quick wickets, so if we are maybe a 35 for 3 in 6 overs or 5 overs, so we can bring him in so that we can allow the time, because Tim David and Green and these players, I believe they cannot play the long game.
Hmm.
Like we have seen with Pollard as well in his
Yeah.
earlier years,
Yeah.
he had that thing, he would just come and hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah.
So you have to clearly assign roles. I was seeing him in both those roles, and he actually was very economical. He used to
Hmm.
bowl very good off spin. We can
Yeah.
also use Piyush Chawla as well. What I was having another thing in mind is, maybe on a chapok pitch we play three spinners. We play all these Kumar, Kartikeya, Ritik Shokin, and Piyush Chawla, and then uh, sub off Piyush Chawla and get someone in as an impact player. Someone like a Ramandeep maybe, who used to bowl at the death for us
Yeah.
last season,
Yes.
and we can use him as a lower middle order batter as well. So
Hmm.
there are many options. I believe in this batting order, for me, only the top three is fixed.
Yeah.
From the middle order, it is quite flexible, considering it will depend upon the situation who should come in earlier and who should come in later.
Hmm.
Because all three, Green, Tilak, and Tim David, have the potential to play till the end and play at a very high strike rate.
Yeah.
And the kind of batting I have got in my 11, I believe this team should get 180 to 200 on at least batting friendly pitches like the Chinnaswamy and the Wankhede and those kind of pitches.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the top six is solid, but the only problem with certain teams, I don't see this with MI also, but certain teams, the number 7 spot only, especially the batting, I think that's where MI lack a bit, especially if in case if they lose a lot of wickets, the death overs, especially over 16 to 20, you need that number 6, 7, probably the 6 wicket partnership or 7th wicket partnership. I think that is where MI last season also we saw it. That was where the weakness was, because we saw Rajasthan Royals, like those teams, they had that until number 7, number 8 who could bat. And even Delhi also, we saw how Shardul Thakur scored runs and all, and certain teams. So I think that is an area where MI is sort of lacking, and that we saw very evidently last season, Falak.
But this thing can be covered by the impact player rule now, no? So if
Yeah.
we, because we have seen Arjun Tendulkar can bat as well.
Mm.
If you have been seeing at least even a little bit of domestic cricket,
Yeah.
Arshad Khan and Arjun Tendulkar, even they can hit some blows. So obviously you're not expecting them to play as what your top six batters will be playing like. Your top six is your top six. They are of a different quality altogether. But these players can contribute those little tens, the cameos of about 10, 20 runs in like at a quick pace. So I believe that having Shokeen as a band-aid and maybe using Archer or one of this Arjun Tendulkar or Arshad Khan, it actually gives us batting depth as well.
Mm. All right. So let's come to Ritam's playing 11 right now. So Ritam has gone with Rohit and Kishan to open. Sky at number three. He's gone with Deval Brevis at number four. Tilak Verma at five. Cameron Green at six. Tim David, Karthikeya in his playing 11. Jofra Archer, Bumrah's replacement, and Arshad. Coming to you, why is Cameron Green batting so low for you at number six when you can potentially include Green in the top four, perhaps like what Falak did? Why are betting Green so low? Your thoughts? Anything? Why you are seeing him playing as a finisher? First of all,
Honestly, as Falak said in the beginning of the video, that depending on the conditions, the middle order could be justified or adjusted in such a way. So right now, as I said, that if 2 wickets fall quickly or if 3 wickets fall quickly, Cameron Green can come at that moment and then anchor the innings and then he can hit off the big shot. So basically, I will say the middle order can be adjusted. You can bring Tilak Verma below Green or even Green below above Tilak Verma, or the vice versa. So I feel I have placed Green as the finishing spot as a reason because I feel that Tilak Verma, as we know previously, I guess batted in the previous season has got the bats most at number 5 and number 4 position. So at that time we saw how well Tilak Verma played in for the Mumbai Indians, and I don't want to disturb the batting lineup. So Rohit, Kishan, Sky, then we got Brevis. I have added Brevis as because as we know the number 7 spot that you were discussing, the number 7, there's no such all-rounder in that fourth spot. So I have kept Brevis at number 4, then Tilak Verma at number 5, and Green at number 6. So basically Green I am taking as a finishing spot. Even if Green fails, I guess there's Team David for you in the next spot who can have the finishing spot as well. Then I have taken Kartikeya. Kartikeya can also bat a bit, but I have taken him in the team as because of his beautiful domestic records he has done with our team.
yes.
And also Jofra and Bumrah's replacement Sandeep Sharma, I guess, is coming, and Arshad Khan.
Mm.
Also, this will change when we go to different stadium. For example, if we talk about Chennai, I guess Piyush Chawla might come into the squad along with Kartikeya. Or if we go to other stadiums, I guess we can bring in Jason Behrendorff and we Brevis can sit out. So basically, this might be this is because I have taken this kind of playing.
Yeah, I think it's also good because I think Brevis can bowl a bit of spin, also can bowl about 2 or 3 overs if required. And then I think only
Yeah,
one spinner also in this playing 11. So, yeah, I don't see any doubts over here. Yeah, hopefully the Bumrah's replacement will be good for Mumbai Indians. And we'll see how that goes with the playing 11. Yeah. Impact players wise, who do you think Ritam could be into consideration?
impact player wise, honestly, I will say uh, Ramandeep Singh can also come. Ramandeep Singh, Arjun Tendulkar, and if MI goes with 3 overseas, I think it's very unlikely. But if MI goes with 3 overseas, Tristan Stubbs as an impact player, I feel.
Very interesting. All right, then I think we'll conclude over here, guys. So any other additions? Falak, any hopes? Do you think that MI can go to the playoffs? Or do you see one more time? I'm asking, do you see MI finishing in the mid-table this time? Seeing the squad, seeing about other teams, are you confident that MI can step back after being last season?
See, we'll surely go above because there is nothing below the 10th position. So we are surely going to go above our ranking last time. But
Yeah.
I am hoping that we at least get in the eliminator. We get
Hmm.
in that fourth spot because I believe it is going to be really difficult to get in the top three.
Hmm.
considering just seeing on paper, I believe there are many teams also looking at their home ground and their strengths and weaknesses
Yeah.
who have a better squad and a better 11 than us.
Yes.
So, but I know that for a fact we will not have as horrific a season as we had last season.
Hmm. All
So,
right.
we will be there from fourth to sixth, is what I believe, is what I already told you at the start of the video itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ritam, your thoughts? I mean, especially Mumbai Indians position, your prediction at the end of the season. You see MI challenging for the trophy this time, potentially champions with this squad, or do you think there'll be like a mid-table team this time around? Because finishing last season, I think that was the first time ever when Mumbai Indians finished last. I don't think even CSK has ever finished last in a IPL
Yeah.
season. I mean, points table. So I mean, both of them only compared when you come to the big teams. Obviously, MI winning 5 titles and obviously not a good season last time, finishing last. So, your thoughts, Ritam, this time around with this MI team, especially losing Bumrah and Jai Richardson right now? Things can't be worse for Mumbai. Potentially, more injuries could happen. So, your thoughts?
Honestly, I am so much proud of this batting unit, but in addition to that, I am afraid of the bowling especially. So overall, looking at the team, I predict this team can go mid tables, especially. It will be good and it will be much better feeling for us if they went to the playoffs, especially. But I'm expecting a mid table finish. I don't think that they would be disappointing us like the last. I don't think they shouldn't do that. But yeah, I'm expecting a mid table finish for Mumbai Indians this year.
All right, guys. So we'll conclude it over there. So thank you so much, Shritam and Falak, once again for joining. So we discussed about the Mumbai Indians squad analysis, and I think you guys got a lot of insights on that. And obviously, people who watch it afterwards, hopefully, will also understand how the situation of Mumbai Indians is. So thank you guys once again for joining, both of you. So today, so we'll be doing the Sunrisers Hyderabad also in a few hours time. So yeah, that is it for the Mumbai Indians squad analysis. So do follow both these people on Instagram, both Ritam and Falak, and do subscribe the Sportbit as well, where Ritam is handling his channel as well. So yeah, and do subscribe the Sports Breakdown, like, comment, and share. So we will be back very soon with other videos, and obviously IPL related, because only I think around 13 days, 12 to 13 days, where until the IPL starts on the March 31st. So do tune in to the sports updates more for more IPL updates. So until then, we'll conclude it over there. So thank you and good night.
Good night. Thank you.